Smurfs-86, and this is Smurfs for a third and final time. Now here we are on our no-horse open sleigh, having a jolly time. Hefty probably used this adventure as an excuse to go on a holiday. As for the level itself, it plays pretty much like the minecart level, controls-wise, but you have these speed boosters. You've got to watch out not to brake before you pick them up, because if you do, you'll cancel them out and probably pay with your life. Now, apart from this game, the Smurfs was also available on some other systems. It was available on NES, which is a game that looks a bit like this one, but it's not identical. So if you like this one, you should give that a try. There's also the SNES version, which I once played as a kid in a mall, and it was extremely hard for me. I didn't even make it past the first level. Apparently Hefty had an accident in the Smurf village and died before an adventure. Too bad. There's also the Genesis version, which looks like the SNES, but I don't know very much about it. Now, we've entered a level that is very tricky and maybe a bit frustrating if you're not used to it. The cliffs. If you're standing on these logs while they flip around, you're gonna fall straight through. Think three-dimensionally. I wonder who it is that is actually turning them. Probably someone with a very cruel sense of humor. I'd recommend you mostly rush through this level. That minimizes the chance that you'll fall off. And after this little last bonus stage, well, second to last actually, we're gonna go to the final act, which is Gargamel's house. It's split up into two parts. In the first one, we're gonna have to contend with Azrael, which is the biggest nuisance of this stage. You cannot really run away from her, she'll adapt to your speed. But you can get rid of her if you hit her with 4 of Jokey's boxes. Which you should do, just because of spite for that mean little kitty. For this level, you should take a bit of time, just so you don't get hurt too much. If you touch that cauldron, you'll take damage. You also take damage if you touch flies, but I'm sure you knew that already. Now this is a tricky one to get. You have to try very hard not to hit that Smurf eating plant up there, which Gargamel seems to have a big fable for. That should be the last present for Azrael. Have fun. There isn't really much left to the first half of the stage, so there's actually little use in defeating Azrael. Now we have to evade the big apples that Gargamel is chucking at us from upstairs. We can't see him yet, but we sure will. If you use the window panes, you can actually get on the apples and ride them. It's pretty funny, but it doesn't really serve much of a purpose. That's a suspicious looking chest. Maybe it'll have some significance later. That was really mean. Didn't even see that one coming. Now we're gonna see the dam one more time. A perfect run of it as well. And next up it's Gargamel. That's actually a really short fight. But you must be on your toes and always at the right spot. You must have these books fall on the left side of the seesaw and then launch them at Gargamel. If he touches you, it's instant death. Now that probably looked really easy, but especially on hard mode, it can be really tough, and you basically may not make a mistake. So with the Smurfs from Smurf, we have completed our adventure. And the Smurfs are celebrating with their patented dance. Or at least I guess it's patented. It's not a very good dance, that's for sure. So, this was my Let's Play of the Smurfs for the Game Boy. It's a neat little game, simple game, that you can also just casually dig up and play again after a while. Here we see a lot of Spanish names, big surprise. The programmers, also called the bit managers, are a Spanish company. As for my next project, I'm not entirely sure what I'll pick next, but say that it's something good for sure. Well, it's kind of what I always say. Whether that's true or not is for you to decide. But we'll see. We'll see. If you beat the game, you get into a kind of level select, also called the practice mode, which we'll see in a minute. And that one can be useful to, for example, know for your next go where all the stuff